Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio. Ours is a place where dreams take flight, voices are heard, and stories are shared. This is where cultures meet, connections are formed, and ideas are transformed into action. This is your destination for authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives, and meaningful conversations. We're where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover our world of education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our USA Global TV channel and download our USA Global TV app. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. With heartfelt thanks to our executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, music scored by Yifei Tang from Cloud Road Music, creative direction by Paul Garcia, and I'm Al Cini, and I'm very proud to be part of the USA Global TV and Radio family. So join us here at USA Global TV and Radio. Make us your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication, or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited. Thank you for being a part of our global community. Let's inspire together.
Howdy, y'all. red.olaughlin here. We're on the Wise Ones now on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. I do 3 shows back to back to back on Thursdays. I just finished the Corner Bookstore, and my next show is called Talking Heads. My topic today is brain longevity. But today we're on business owners, entrepreneurs, business developers, educators, people who can add value to your business and to your life. I'm a researcher. When I'm not doing TV shows, I research the human body at the cellular level, chemically speaking. I look for cause and effect relationships. Treat a cause, fix a problem. Treat symptoms, and you'll always be treating symptoms. And the cause could get worse at the same time. I also help people with their books. I'm a book coach. I've published probably 50 books for people over the years. And in fact, I have a couple of them coming out right now, hopefully both before Christmas for clients. And I do the speaking as part of my Talking Heads, but my TV shows, there's just a lot of good information out there on things. So that being said about me, let's get into our guest today, J.D. Simpkins. J.D., please join us here. J.D. is an entrepreneur, an author, an educator, a business developer, a number of things. He took a lawn mowing business into high gear and became a marketing master. And so we're going to cover a lot of different things today. So JD, what did I miss about introducing you?
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I took kind of an unconventional course to get to where I am today, I guess. I was always in something, kind of entrepreneurial, I guess, throughout the years, in sales a lot, sold insurance for a while, and had decided to start a lawn care business. I wasn't, computers wasn't really a big thing back then. This was back probably 2007, 2008. But after I spent all my money on my equipment to start the lawn care company, I'm building my business, trying to, build my root up, and decided, what do I need? What do these big companies have that I don't? And the answer even back then in 2008 was a website. And it was still more money than I had to get one built. So I decided, I've been kind of resourceful. I can do this myself. And I fell in love with learning to code. And learning to code and building websites for people throughout the years, I always kind of stuck with that. I sold the lawn care business, long story short, that after that first year, turns out a 250-pound guy in the middle of summer, it wasn't the business for me. I enjoyed building it up, but I didn't enjoy fulfilling it for sure. But I sold it to a friend of mine at the end of that year and continued to learn to code and started freelancing, building websites. And then that's what, naturally when you're building websites, next thing comes digital marketing. And over the next 15 years or so, I've worked for 3 different companies before I started my own company, Tech Touch Marketing. And that kind of brings us to where we're at today. So along the way, I've always enjoyed I guess, mentoring people, helping people along the way. So I've got a project, Growlancer, that concentrates on helping freelancers, kind of take the steps that I took and build a freelancing career. And now that I've got all these digital marketing skills, my next step is, teaching business owners how to do what I do, because digital marketing can be expensive for, a small, newer company. And there's no sense. There comes a time when they can, spend the thousands of dollars needed to outsource the marketing. But starting out, that's not feasible. And there's no like super secret tricks or tips you're going to learn from me. There's no, get rich quick thing, climb to the top overnight. That doesn't happen. But, these are proven methods that I teach that, this is exactly what I do for my clients at Tech Touch Marketing.
It's interesting. I think a lot of us my age were out mowing yards, for 50 cents a yard, literally way back when. And maybe $1 some days. It seemed like, and that was about 16, because I could put the lawnmower in the back of the car and go do wherever I needed to go. And so that was my business income. It wasn't a business, but that was my income for, of course, $2 filled up the car. You didn't have to worry about, gas was $16.9, $17, 17 cents a gallon. And so it was a different world. But nowadays I look out there, I think around 20 some years ago, I had my gallbladder removed, and up until that point in time, my yard was about a 5-hour weekend chore. My wife and myself, we could get it done in 3 hours. But she hired a lawn service, and he's been taking care of it ever since. Every week he's been here forever. He's put 3 kids through college, believe it or not. Awesome. It's a very lucrative business. Most people don't think so, but you drive around our neighborhoods and you see a lot of lawn care business, because they branch into other things that are also related with painting and house repair and this and that and whatever. So I think it's an interesting place to start, because you have a lot of business decisions that are there, but they're not necessarily in the same level as opening a digital marketing firm. And so I think it's a good place to start a business. I really do.
100%. Yeah. The bar to entry is pretty low, and I've seen guys build big businesses starting out with a mower in their trunk, like you said.
We had a guy on our show here, this particular show, 2, 3, 4 weeks back. I can't remember. And he started out as landscaping. His brother took over. He went a different direction. Both of them very successful. In fact, his landscaping business, his brother has over 500 houses they take care of. So there's a lot of crews that go out every week to do that. So that's a major landscaping business. So it's not something to sneer at. I think it needs to be done. It needs to be done often.
Absolutely.
And so it's an always the evergreen kind of project. Okay. But you got involved with digital marketing. Why digital marketing as opposed to something else?
Well, it was the natural progression, I think, from since I'm building websites for people. It doesn't really do a lot of good if there's no traffic to the website, So I started studying, search engine optimization. And then once I got hired on with some marketing agencies and was in charge and learning how to do Google and Facebook ads and just adding, all these skills to my toolbox. But yeah, I think it was just the natural thing. Since I was building websites, it just kind of went hand in hand. Let's drive some traffic to the websites now. And I started loving that aspect better than actually coding. I feel like I put my time in the trenches coding, so I enjoy the digital marketing aspect of things a lot better now versus sitting down and just coding for 8 hours straight, like I was so accustomed to over the years.
Owning a website it's one thing. You can have it. It's like, yeah, I'm an author. But if you're not marketing a book, you're not selling, you're not doing your speaking engagements, you're not doing your signings, there's a lot of things a website can do. I think one of the measurements is what the CRO, conversion rate optimization, whatever they call it. And so you have something, but the website may not necessarily be attracting the right people. So how do you find out what who the customer is selling to? In other words, I have an audience. How do I get in front of that audience with my website and my service or my product?
Sure. So the first thing I do when I take on a client or start teaching someone is we'll sit down and build out an ideal customer profile, buyer persona. There's a million different names for it. But this is essentially a kind of a semi-fictional representation of the ideal customer. And we include everything, not just demographics, but like psychographics as well. Like, does this person hang out online? Are they on Facebook? Is it more of a TikTok type of audience? You just find out, you take your best customers and try to find out what they have in common and start putting them into different buckets. And you build a profile out for each of those different buckets, and you cater your marketing message to speak to those people. You use the same language they use, make sure you're touching on the pain points that they experience. It includes a lot of different information.
JD, there's a question that I usually ask sometimes when I'm giving speeches. It says, JD, what does it take to be a successful fisherman? And people guess all sorts of things, but it only takes one thing, and that one thing is hungry fish. And so if you convert that to your business, what does it take to get a sale? Well, you may be sitting there, you have the best product, the best service, a great website, but if you're not in front of somebody where they know that when I need that, I can go get it, and they lay awake at night saying, how can I get this thing in front of more people? You have a solution because of the kinds of questions you're asking, the ideal client. Who are you going after? Where are they at? That's super critical. Where did you learn that at?
Yeah, so I can't really remember exactly where that was taught along the way. I definitely learned that early on, probably not as early as I should have, because it's definitely made targeting a lot easier since I've understood that concept. I can't remember. I've taken several courses, over the years to expand my knowledge. And I can't remember exactly where I learned that from. But another important thing, you said where the customer is, and not only physically where they're at, but where they're at mentally as well. Because each of these buyer profiles that we build out, all of them's not going to be at the bottom of the funnel, if you will, ready to buy now. There's different stages to the buying process, and the methods that work even 5-10 years ago, don't really work as well as they once did. The landscape's just totally changed, and how people buy, and it's all about having an online presence and having that social proof to go along with it. It's all about trust, and that can be difficult to build without a solid online presence.
Yeah, before COVID, I was rarely buy anything online. It was something unique or interesting. But with COVID, I had to do something because you weren't allowed to go out doing some of the shopping. So I gradually shifted over my own mindset from, okay, let me see it, feel it, touch it, smell it, to, okay, I'll trust you, see if we can get it here and see if it fits. Yesterday I was going through something, boom, okay, I went straight to learn more. Okay, I like it, boom, I buy it. And so my buying habits have changed over the last 5 years significantly. And I think a lot of that was because of COVID. We were forced into more of the video world, the online world, the digital world of where we get our information. And the grocery stores and everything now make it so easy. You just go on, boom, 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 and it's delivered to you. So as you say, the whole landscape has changed in the last 10 years, and particularly in the last 5 years. And so you have to be on top of things. If somebody wants to market something now, are you going to advertise it? Or are you going to market it? There's a little difference in nuances in there. And where is your return on your investment going to be? Is it clicks on social media? Is it something else? Do you have an email marketing? I mean, there's so many different directions to go in. So you're sitting down and you're accumulating the total assessment of the client. their clients, their business, their model, their mission, their all that kind of stuff. So you take that and you kind of rub it around your head a little bit, and you say, okay, this way, but we're not going to go that way right now. Let's get some success before we go that way. Is that
100%.
a fair way of saying how you do things?
Yes, yes. And you, what you said there is exactly it. There's so much different information out there. It's hard for someone that doesn't, eat, sleep, and breathe this to really understand what direction to take. It starts out, first of all, with tracking. You want to make sure your tracking set up from out the gate, so you know what's working, where the traffic's coming from, what's converting, what's working, what's not, so you can adjust your strategies along the way. I had a thought I was going to make there. I had a point I was going to make, and it totally slipped my mind now.
How long do you usually let a plan go by before you readjust and tweak it and make it better?
So that probably depends on exactly what method we're talking about. Like if we're talking Facebook ads or an email marketing campaign, we can collect a lot more data a lot more quickly, probably with Facebook ads. So that decision can be made a lot quicker. Like normally I like to get, a few thousand impressions at least, depending on your budget, you can get in a day to a week. But a few thousand impressions for an ad before I really make any judgment calls on that. And with the email method, that's going to go a little slower depending on how large your list is. But it's really it depends on the situation, I guess, to kind of answer your question.
Yeah, I have a swimming pool company I use, and I got this thing yesterday, and said, would you please take the survey? And half of the survey was their new marketing campaign. Which one do you like better than this one? And they really didn't tweak much at all. In fact, I was actually kind of disappointed. But it's number 3 out of 5. And I'm saying they haven't changed anything. And they're making it difficult to read because there's too many words. So I wrote my critique. I said, you really need just bullets and keep it down as few words as possible, because you're losing people in the verbiage, the text. And so I try to help improve the quality of anybody I run into. Is just part of my background in civilian life way back when.
Right.
But it's interesting because what appeals to me is not going to appeal to you, and it's not going to appeal to our wives or to our brothers and sisters. We all have a different, but there are some things that will appeal to all of us. And so when you're planning your marketing campaign and things are going well, what do you do after that?
So you're constantly testing, A/B testing everything you're doing. So and that's where that you said CRO earlier, conversion rate optimization. That's what you're constantly doing, is optimizing any of your ads and strategies. So you've always got kind of two things going on at the same time, so you can measure against one another, see which one performs better, put the bad performing one aside, and then test another variable of the situation. So there really is no end game. It's always how you can get a better return on your investment.
Okay. While we were talking there just a moment ago, we had a question come in. What is the difference between an impression and a view when you're analyzing the effectiveness of an ad?
Okay, so an impression and a view, I would probably classify those two as the same. Maybe reach is what they were asking about. So like with Facebook ads, for instance, if you have 1,000 impressions, that means your ad has shown 1,000 times. And then there's some other stats there too, but the reach will say maybe like 1.3. That means that's not necessarily you've reached 1,000 people. Trying to think, with YouTube, it is a little different. So I guess the terminology depends on what platform we're talking about too.
Okay, we're getting ready to go into a break here, literally in just a few seconds. When we come back, let's talk a little bit about the benefits of each of the different kinds of social media, and so it gives you a chance to think about where we want to go. So when we come back from our break, about a minute, minute and a half, we'll talk in the social media realm. So
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride. Whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in, we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
howdy, y'all. Red.olaughlin here. We're on the Wise Ones on USA Global TV and Radio Network. My guest today is J.D. Simpkins. J.D., please join us back up here on stage. J.D., just before break, you just touched on YouTube. We talked about Facebook a little bit. So why don't we just kind of go through the different social media platforms? Give me a little bit of your impression about how a business could use those.
Sure. So with the businesses I work with are mostly service-based businesses like lawn care, pressure washing, window cleaning, Christmas light installers, roofers, things like that. So the platforms that I concentrate on most, because those ideal customer profiles are mainly on Facebook and Google. So Google ads and Facebook and Instagram ads is where my real expertise is. I've run some Snapchat and TikTok ads in the past, and with some success, but a lot of the clients I work with are Facebook and Google all the way. So that's really the only two I can speak on with a lot of authority in the matter. Snapchat was fun. I think it was a Halloween like haunted house type thing that we would do Snapchat and TikTok. That's the only experience I have with those. So it wasn't really a service-based business. It was a yearly type thing. But anyways, yeah. What questions do you have about Facebook or Google ads? Which one would you like to talk about?
It wasn't so much about the actual advertising or the marketing, and just the fact that what do they like? YouTube is free video. It's like almost like we're doing right now. I'm sitting there, and if I find my cell phone, and I could bring this thing up, and I say, okay, I can do a short 30-second. I could show the yard before. I could show the yard after. I could show the concrete before, after, it's pressure water. I mean, I could do a lot of things, but I have to know how to do it, and I don't want to put something up there that's really doesn't look like a good video. So there's a lot of little nuances in doing some of those. I remember during the middle of COVID, very beginning of COVID, I'm listening to radio, and this guy is a pressure washer, and he has a commercial outfit, 5,000 PSI or something. I don't know, just kind of blew my mind. And he says he only goes to the rich neighborhoods. He makes between 2,000 and 5,000 a week, and he only works 2 or 3 days a week. He'll go up and he'll do 2 or 3 free cleanings of driveways and porches and everything else, and with the intention that somebody will notice or they will tell other people, and then they'll come back. And again, because he can literally do everything in an hour and go on because of the high pressure that he's using and extra 36-inch wide. I don't know, but it was one of those things that he had a uniqueness, and he didn't like to work, but he liked money, and so it was the best of all worlds. He could work a couple, 3 days a week, make a few bucks, but I think to myself, that is really a neat way of doing business. Why would you not want to expand where you could, maybe not just, the $100 pressure washing job, and maybe the $500 pressure washing job. So, but again, when I'm looking at my social media, is it just there to highlight my socialness, or am I really there as part of my business credibility? And so
Sure.
YouTube, I think you're really in the business credibility to a large degree.
Yeah,
But
100%.
in Facebook, I think you're more in the social aspect with an occasional business tip, because otherwise you're all business. You really need to be on LinkedIn or somewhere else.
Absolutely. And
But
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
and you have a wonderful blog. One of them talks about taking the right kind of photos. You have, like, actually, you don't have a whole lot of blogs, but you have some really good value in the blogs you have. And one of them talked about, the photo of your company, your representation, your service. And so Instagram or Pinterest might be a better social media platform for that kind of business presentation.
100%. Yes. And the more social proof you have, with the service-based businesses like that, before and after photos are worth gold. The more content you have, and that's what I try to train those that I work with on doing is get used to having that phone out. And luckily, a lot of the clients that I have are younger guys that are used to having their phone out all the time. So it's not too much to train them to take pictures and videos as they're working. And that you want a bank of content for your Google business profile, Facebook, everything, Instagram, whatever channels you're on.
As you say, content creation is king. Do you do content creation for your clients, or do you guide them along the way? How does that work?
Yeah, so I do a lot for them. I prefer to guide them along the way and helping come up with the content as far as images. What I generally do is I'll share a Google Drive with them and then encourage them. We'll have a once a week check-in to where I encourage them to upload, that week's work photos or videos or whatever. And then that way we've got some content to work with when we're coming up with any creative for whether it be ads or just social posts in general or whatever.
JD, when I'm working with a new author and we're trying to get a book written, I usually go to what's called the interview style, and we're talking about how to in a lot of cases. And so I say, how do you put gas in a gas motor? How do you check the oil in your pressure? Whatever the how-to questions. I usually start with the first one. JD, tell me about your first car you ever had. You ask the questions in an interview style. I'm sitting there and I'm interviewing myself, and I know the answer to the question. So it's a simple answer, and I keep it down to 25, 45 seconds. And so if I have my list of questions that are, what are you doing today that you weren't doing 3 years ago? Okay, things change. What is your specialty today? So I think if you look at the interview style, the people know the answers to their questions. It goes super quickly on the video because they feel comfortable. They know the answer. They're not camera shy. That camera shyness can be a major problem. Have you found that to be true?
Yes, 100%. It is with myself included. I hate being on camera. It's been painful to come on the podcast today. I've got a face for radio, man. But that is a problem with a lot of business owners too, I think. And I preach to them, take photos constantly, take videos constantly, so we have that content. And I really try to practice what I preach, because it's been a struggle to make myself videos. And in building this course out that I've been doing, it's been difficult getting used to being on camera. So it's definitely a hold up.
Well, I noticed we have similar hairlines, and I have to be very careful if I'm having pictures taken and there's a white background, because I blend right into the background.
100%.
So I'm very cautious about, if somebody's taking a picture, I kind of look around and make sure, okay, this is a good place to have it. And so that's something I'm aware of because of that situation. Same thing, if I had a lot of dark hair and there's a dark background, you blend in and it's difficult.
Yes.
But the video thing is not too bad. But what is really a neat thing today, and I've been using it the last 2 or 3 months, is that there are AI video sources. Literally, the one I chose was free, and I got maybe a dozen videos out of it. And I go to AI Chat GPT and I say, here is the main points that I want to talk about. I want a 45-second video and give me a text. And I take a look at the text. I say, okay, change the text to be more whatever. So I want to make sure it's focused toward my audience in the right tone. And so now I have a video that lasts, say, 30 seconds. And I have 6 different AI generated images that are automatically placed on that video, and everything that's being said is scripted along the bottom. The text is there for free.
Right.
And so boom, I can put that out and say, I'm talking today on brain longevity, and here's 5 things you need to know. Boom, 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 boom. Please join me. And then in the deal, I can have, click here to get to the thing. So there's, AI has just made our world so much easier as a tool, but most of us don't know how to use AI as a tool, and we kind of shy away from it. What's been your experience?
No, I love AI. It's definitely the future. I use AI on a daily basis, whether it be for voiceovers. I think 11 Labs is the one I use most frequently, probably for that. ChatGPT daily, have it outline whatever for me. And then, dig into the details. I definitely don't like to have it write a lot of content. I'll have it kind of proofread content and maybe look for gaps in the story or whatever. But any content that it produces, I feel like you can just tell it's written by AI. It's gotten better over the last year or so in that aspect. But there's still, telltale signs. Like I see ads all the time that you can tell people straight copied from ChatGPT and put in there with their little emojis that they're constantly using and the EM dashes and all that. It's just telltale signs. But yeah, we use AI, every day for numerous things.
But the AI, if you tell it to be more social, more, if my audience is 7th grade level, if I tell it I want to have more of an inquisitive, you describe, when I use AI daily myself, but I research, chemical reactions in the human body on various organs and systems and enzymes and peptides and all. I do. So anyway, I have about a 2-page prompt that I go in and I tell AI, this is who you are. This is what I want. This is what I expect. 2 different animals. Here's what I want you to search. Here's my audience. Here's what I want their expectations to be satisfied with. And so I go through and I go through all of these things. I talked about, okay, and here is what I need when you're done. And so I'm very, very definitive about how I use AI. And when I get something back, okay, fine. Now take this and convert it to a 7th grade level. Because now I need some level of ease of reading, because I don't need to have long chemical names out there. And so I think it's a great tool, but people have to know how to use it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's 100% right. It's all about the prompt. And that's exactly how I use it. For instance, if we're making, let's say my task is I'm making a Facebook ad now, I'll go ahead and feed it that whole ideal customer profile, all those pain points and all those things about that profile that I have. This is who we're building the ad for. This is who we want to target. And exactly like you said. And if you build the prompt right, it does amazing things. That's for sure.
As I think the old expression, if the only tool you have is a hammer, every solution looks like a nail.
Right.
And it's just, it's a wonderful tool. And there's so many free things out there about it that why not take advantage? Mm-hmm. Again, it's how do you ask the question and how do you tell them this is what, okay. You're a 4-year PhD level chemical synthesis professor. I need to know from that level what is, and so I tell AI who they are. And once they know who they are, they know what to expect. and I have really good conversations with my AI. In fact, I get stuff back there, and I get a little parenthesis off to the end. This is your area. A parenthesis closed. And so it's almost really talking to another person. And so, yeah, it's an area there. So we're getting down here toward the end. We talked about content. We talked about that. Let's talk about Touch Tech. That's your company, right?
Touch Marketing, yes.
Touch Marketing. What services do you all offer? Because we're getting ready to have the show, and I want people to know.
Sure. So we're a full suite marketing agency. Everything from building your website to just anything that creating an online presence entails. Whether it be working with your Google business profile, your Facebook ads, Google ads, just social media management in general, email marketing. Yeah, we cover pretty much everything. Basically, how Tech Touch Marketing works is when I take on a client, is we sit down and do kind of an audit of your current situation, look for areas of improvement, not only with your online presence, but in your procedures and layouts that you have day to day to see if there's any room for improvement there. Sorry, my cats are fighting behind me. We're here. I think I answered your question there. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Okay, one of the things we wanted to cover, I'm neglectful in not getting to it until the very, very end, is that you have an education course coming up, simpkins.com/learn. We have, I won't have learn on that one, but anyway, with a couple of minutes left in the show, briefly tell us, what is the education course about and how do people find it?
Yeah, just go to jdsimpkins.com/learn. It's just a simple little landing page. It'll explain a little bit about what to expect there. That way you're notified. The course is launching on Christmas. Again, it's going to cover everything I've learned in the last 15 years when it comes to digital marketing. Basically, I've sat down and went through the process when I first take on a client, building those customer profiles, understanding the buyer's journey, everything from that to, running Google and Facebook ads, anything that a small to medium-sized business needs to do to stay competitive in today's market. You've got a couple options: do it yourself or hire someone to do it for you.
Okay.
It can be very expensive to hire an agency to do it for you. And I find a lot of newer, smaller businesses don't necessarily need, a $1,000 agency out the gate when it's something they can do themselves. Like I said, there's no magic answer to marketing. It's just a matter of, understanding the steps to take to build that online presence. And that's essentially what the course covers, everything you need to know to do that.
Okay, so people can reach you at JD Simpkins, SIMPKINS.com. JD Simpkins, SIMPKINS.com. And they can also reach you at techtouchmarketing.com. That's tech, TECH, touch, TOUCH, marketing, MARKETING.com. So those are the two primary ways to reach JD. And I really and truly appreciate your time today and the value you've added to the show. So thank you very much. And we may bump into each other again in 2026. You just never know how things are going.
Yeah, for sure. Let me get more comfortable on camera and I'll give you a better show next time.
Okay. I will hold you to that, JD. Okay. JD Simpkins is our guest today on the Wise Ones, a business entrepreneur, business developer, educator, a number of different things, but primarily in the digital marketing world. So if you need some assistance with your website or content creation or email marketing or whatever, JD is a good source to consider. We're getting ready to wrap up the Wise Ones today. My next show in about 22 minutes is called the Talking Heads, and I'll be just doing a presentation. I introduce everything and then I put up slideshow, because when I first started doing this show several years ago, I'm using long words that people don't understand. So I put everything there. If you want to go back, pause the deal, and okay, that's what I need to write down and figure out something to talk to my doctor about. Anyway, I give you a lot of information. Today is on brain longevity, the science behind how do you prevent dementia before it actually starts. And that's what I want to concentrate on today. So catch you all next week. Take care of y'all. Bye now. Red.
In a noisy world, true connection begins with listening. Elevated listening transforms every conversation in just 5 simple steps. Pause and breathe. Set your intention. Listen with curiosity. Reflect back. Agree on one next step. Join the Listening Mentor on Let's Finally Talk with Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, the Listening Mentor, where we help you find inner peace, one conversation at a time. Streaming every day. Let's Finally Talk TV show with Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, only here on USA, Global TV and Radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channels to watch and engage with all our content. Every woman carries a story of strength, of purpose, of light. Through her courage, the world is transformed. Through her grace, generations are inspired. This is Iconic Women. Within Every Woman Lives a Goddess, a celebration of brilliance, beauty, and empowerment. Join us every Wednesday at 11 a.m. New York, 4 p.m. London time, only here on USA, Global TVR, and Radio. Featuring the iconic Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, honoring voices that shine across the world. Subscribe to our YouTube channels, USA Global TV and Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, to watch and engage with all our content. World-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration.
The moon is a spotlight, the sun's on the stage, the world's got some good seats, but nobody stays. They get their opinions, I've got mine too. So darling, please listen to what I say. Listen babe now, listen babe now.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/usaglobaltv. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.